Good evening. We're going to begin the meeting for the East Powder Common Council for April 23rd, 2025. If you could please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dr. Vita, roll call, please.
First District Councilwoman Monica Gonzalez.
Here.
Third District Council Terrence Hill. Here. Fourth District Councilwoman Stacy Winfield. Fifth District Councilman Robert Garcia. Present. Sixth District Councilwoman Gilda Orange.
Here.
Councilman at Large Dwayne Ransford. Here. Councilwoman at Large Vanessa Hernandez Orange.
Present.
Councilman at Large Kenneth Monroe.
Present.
Council President Lenny Francisci.
Mr. Francisci let me know that he's not able to be here today. And I will chair the meeting for the evening. The first item that we have is our public hearing. Clerk Medina.
Ordinance number 25-0008, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Additional appropriations ordinance for the general fund 1101, employees compensation in the form of bonuses.
Is there anyone here to speak on the item? Yes.
Good evening, I'm Charlotte Brown. I'm the Director of Human Resources for the City of East Chicago. And I'm here to present for the performance-based bonus program. Now, the city has done performance evaluations in the past, so we've implemented bonuses in the past.
If you could just let us know what we're here for, not the explanation of it. So during the third reading is when you explain exactly what it is. So just the amount that you're asking for of what the ordinance is.
1.5 million for this particular one.
Is there anyone here that's for or against the item? The next item that we have is our regular meeting is the minutes of the council meeting. And for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilman Hill, and there's a second by Councilman Ransford. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Winfield.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Ransford.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Hernandez Orange.
Yes. Any communications from the mayor?
I have none.
The council payable warrants?
We have communication
From
from
department
department
heads, I'm
heads.
sorry.
Accounts payable warrants. 040825 CC. 041025 CC. 041125 CC. 041425 CC. 041525 CC. 042325 CC. So moved. And 042325 LA. So moved.
Councilwoman Hill, Councilman Hill. With the motion, Councilman Ransom for seconds the motion. Are any questions? Roll call, clerk Medina.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
No.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes.
Payroll warrant biweekly 041125.
So move. Second.
We have Councilman Hill with the motion and then Councilman Ransford with second. Are there any questions? Clerk Medina?
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes. Any committee reports? Any board reports? Any ordinances on first reading?
We have no ordinances on first or second. We have one ordinance on third reading.
For the record, can we take the ordinance?
Ordinance on third reading, ordinance 25-0008, sponsor Mayor Anthony Coakley. Additional appropriations ordinance for the general fund 1101, employee compensation in the form of bonus.
Do you have anyone here to speak on this? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we need a first and second.
Correct.
Second. Councilman
Councilman Garcia makes the motion. And Councilwoman Orange seconds the motion. Councilman Garcia.
HR Director, can you come up, please? It was brought to our attention, there's the wrong date on this, also on the ordinance. Clerk Medina?
Yes, I spoke with Attorney Allegretti. He suggested we go ahead and amend it for final passage to reflect today's date as the date of the public hearing.
What does it need to be? Today?
Today's date.
So I moved, that the date be today's date.
Second. So there's amended, the motion to amend the ordinance to add today's date rather than April 9th. That's on the actual ordinance, and it's moved by Councilman Garcia, properly seconded by Councilwoman Gonzalez. And Ms. Brown?
Can we vote on the amendment?
Yes, sir.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes. Now, Mrs. Brown.
The main purpose of the performance bonus is to motivate employees to perform at their best. It's a way for the city to align our business goals along with how the employees are performing. Performance evaluations have been done in the past. We're revisiting that, and we've given bonuses in the past, but now we want to tie the two together so that we're rewarding those employees who are performing well. And it's also going to provide us with an opportunity to work with those employees who have areas of opportunity so that they can level up and have an increase in their incentive as well.
Are there any questions?
It'd be a great way to retain employees, yes.
Yes, what was your last name again?
Brown.
Ms. Brown, how you doing? Nice to see you. First, I was just, one of the questions I have, I know we started this at the beginning of last month, what was the holdup of trying to get us to document?
We were just still, firming up everything, fine tuning and making sure all the I's were dotted and T's.
And I'm pretty sure the whole council agrees on the performance evaluations.
Yes.
I never seen anybody get evaluated and they didn't know they was gonna get evaluated. Always it was a notifying the union, hey, for this coming year, you're gonna be evaluated, that's how you're gonna get your bonuses.
I do have prepared, an introductory email. I haven't sent it out because I was waiting for us to be, this to be passed. That's gonna go out, tomorrow, if, everything goes well. introducing the program to our supervisors and managers, and also sharing with them the date where we're gonna have training for the managers to conduct the performance evaluations.
Yes, but Ms. Brown, I think you're evaluating them for this year. You're gonna evaluate them this, next month and in June, correct?
We're gonna evaluate
Yes,
them
that's
in the month of May for the period January through June. Okay, and then that will be like the mid-year evaluation. And then in November, it will be the annual evaluation covering all of January through that period.
Why not let them know a year in advance they're gonna get evaluated? That's what their bonus is gonna be, predicted on.
I'm sorry, I haven't discussed. I just recently started in November. August of last year is when I started. Councilman Park?
Yeah, Mr. Brown. Okay, you're gonna evaluate each and every employee,
Yes,
and then once the evaluation is concluded, will we get a copy of those ones, evaluation?
when we're looking at performance evaluations and employees, that's part of their personnel file, and they're confidential, so I really want to preserve that. Especially maybe some sensitive information, for employees who are not performing as well, and their areas of opportunity and whatever professional development or training.
It will be a fair evaluation.
Oh, definitely, yes.
If you know you're gonna get somebody complaining about, I thought I was doing better. I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of city employees doing a heck of a job. And I say, I
Yes.
commend them all the time. And I mean, each and every department, especially that public works, they do a real good job. So I think everybody's doing a good job, so everybody should have a good evaluation. Those who don't, let them know.
Councilman Ransford?
Just kind of piggybacking on what Councilman Hill said, what type of unbiased matrix will we be using to ensure that it's kept fair? And along with Garcia, am I gonna be quote unquote penalized because I didn't know what the matrix was up until May? So my bonus might reflect a lower evaluation because I didn't know what guidelines I was going to be held to prior to my evaluation, and how can you ensure that it's going to be fair across the board?
As far as fairness across the board, everybody's gonna be evaluated, not everyone, our staff. I'm evaluating them on 5 factors, and those factors are attendance and punctuality, quality of work, quantity of work, job knowledge and skills, interpersonal skills. Now, as far as our managerial personnel, our administrators, our department heads, they will be evaluating on 8 factors. And I felt like with managers, you can't evaluate them at the same level as the staff member because we have a higher expectation. So I incorporated leadership and management skills, judgment and decision-making skills, also initiative and flexibility. The bonus factors based upon how they rank, whether it's a 3 or 4, their monetary amount will be assigned accordingly. And the metrics amount or the monetary amount is on page 1 towards the bottom. What are the dollar amounts that will be awarded?
Thank you.
Councilwoman Woodville?
Yes, ma'am. Not, knowledge, which should have knowledge. So now you are going to be evaluated. I don't know how soon we started the evaluation here in the city. Well, it hasn't been 5 years ago that they did evaluations, but they did not. Also, who's evaluating the directors? And when I'm asking that question, because you HR, you're not in every department everything. So you don't know what the directors are really doing versus their assistants doing the job that the directors should be doing. You know, how would they be evaluated? And like I said, this is something new that they're bringing to the employees in evaluation, especially those that have seniority. That's been there, and you use public works as an example. Those that's been there over 20-something years, and one of them get a okay evaluation. They should get, say, the 4,000, but they might get 2,500. But this person has been here for 20-some odd years. How is that going to be fair because this is something new. I can see if you started first in the second term, but the first term, I'm kind of concerned. About main concern is how, who's evaluating those directors?
Okay, to start, in step, the department heads and supervisors, or the supervisors will be evaluating their team, those who report up to. The department heads will be evaluating their managers. Because when it comes to, I'll just fast forward, department heads. Chief Favela is overall a department head, she'll be evaluating us based upon our manager skills and our accomplishments. As far as this being something new, our managers, every month, whenever they have a new employee, they're performing 30-day, 60-day, 90-day evaluations. So providing an evaluation or implementing an evaluation on an employee is not uncommon. But I understand what you're saying as far as those who've been here for 20 or 30 years, them not having been evaluated in a while. That's why we're gonna have an introductory meeting. I'm gonna meet with all the department heads and we're gonna explain all of this.
So you just now going to meet with the department heads to discuss this with them. And evaluations, yes, we have evaluations occasionally. Some of the time, I think we don't have evaluations, but what I'm saying is you're starting this now for the first term of the bonus.
Right.
When employees have always gotten the bonus regardless,
Mhm.
but now you're starting it off with their first part of their first bonus. So where you're looking for a bonus, you may not get your full bonus because of your performance without knowledge.
I understand what you're saying. In the past, we've given out those full bonuses and we've given out full bonuses to those who were underperforming. And think about how that looked to those who were excelling in their position. And I've seen this just from walking around and just from hearing from managers or other team members, where one team member in public works may be doing well, and another team member they're observing, they're not performing as well. They're hardly ever here for attendance, and they're getting the same amount of money. Like, how motivating is that?
What I'm saying is the knowledge of that, because you're dealing with unions.
Right.
So the knowledge of the employees knowing,
Mhm.
not just, I mean, I guess they'll know after this.
Right.
But my concern is the knowledge of the one, this is not just started just like now, you are adding some measures. How long? This was gonna come up, how long did you know this was gonna come?
We've been in a planning stages, maybe around January, but we want to work out.
Union.
I understand you're referencing the union, right?
Yeah, no knowledge of it.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for, responding to my email so quickly. I really
Yes.
appreciate that. The only question I have is, you said that each employee is going to be, getting a bonus by rank. So every employee is going to get a bonus, but it depends on how they rank. Is that correct?
Yes.
So even the person who is not doing as much, they're going to get a bonus.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes. Whether they've been here from 6 to 12 months, and it just depends on the amount, but they will receive some type of benefit.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Councilwoman Orange.
First of all, thank you for coming. But to me, you guys are putting the cart before the horse.
Mhm.
First of all, you haven't had a meeting with the managers, they don't even know what to look for.
Okay.
And so you stated, the 30-day, 90-day, that's for probationary,
Yes.
people. It wasn't for the regular people, they wanted that. I don't see how you can come in now in the middle of the spring and evaluate and give a bonus, and then talk to the managers and tell them what to do, to come along and how, and, this is how you want to be able to judge to give a bonus. I think you guys should have given everybody the bonus like they've been having, and then started up with the managers, talk to the managers, talk to your directors and say, hey, this is how we are moving forward. Everybody get a letter saying that we are now going to evaluate, and this is how you will get a bonus. You may not get a bonus if your record does not warrant. But now to start in the middle of the thing to tell people that I'm going to evaluate you and then and that's how your bonus is going to be. based on, I think it's unfair. And I think that, no, and I think that you guys may be setting yourself up for, somebody suing you because you turn around and then and you give them this one a bonus and my manager may really like me. He said, okay, I'll make sure you get the bonus. And then this one that didn't talk back or said something to me, I'm gonna rate them low. And then those are some of the things that you need to have talked to your managers about. Being like Councilman Ransford and Councilman Garcia said about being fair and not being biased. But those are things that they need to know beforehand, before you guys give out a bonus, before you start this because this is a new program. I don't care what you call it. This is a new program to these employees of the city of East Chicago, because they've gotten the bonus twice a year, whether they did a good job or didn't. Yeah, maybe motivation may not have been a factor for some, but for some of the people that was doing a good job, you don't have that many people that's doing such a horrible job, because if they are, why are they still there? And then the next thing, to turn around and then and be able to designate the ones you ain't gonna give nothing to, already listed. I ain't saying that you list them, but I'm just saying that it could be the list already of who you're not gonna give it to. And so I just think that you guys should give everybody start this program that you say that you guys are gonna do, because for you to say that we're gonna go back now and talk to the managers, that just seems to me out of place. And it's setting people up for failure, and that ain't fair to them either.
I'm curious,
Council.
I'm curious if the city legal looked at this, because from the perspective of HR, I would be concerned about basing an employee's anticipated bonus on a matrix that they were unaware about until the month. So you're saying you're going to evaluate in May, and you're going to give them their matrix in the next couple of weeks, and you're going to base the bonus on a matrix that employee was unaware about. So I'm just curious if somebody from legal looked at this, because they've had these bonuses year over year. And so they're anticipating this money as a part of their salary. And then when you tell them that now you're going to base their anticipated bonus on something that they didn't even know about, I worry that I shared Councilwoman Orange's concern that it's going to open it up for potential litigation.
Councilman.
No, it's so sounding things for everything that Councilwoman Orange spoke of, everything.
Councilman Hill.
Yeah, you said every employee will do that. When were they given that opportunity to know that they're gonna be evaluated? And how you gonna do that, how you going to get that message to me?
Okay, that message will be communicated to them over the next week once everything is approved.
So right now, they don't know they're gonna get evaluation for bonus.
I have not put out a full communication as of yet. However, to address the legal, yes, legal counsel has reviewed this. They reviewed all of the whole policy that I've created. They reviewed the evaluation form, the metrics. So it has gone before the.
So as of today, they don't know that they're gonna be evaluated for their performance, because all of them think they're getting a bonus straight out. They don't think they're getting evaluated for it. That's what's on the problem.
Councilman Ransford.
So like you explained that legal has
Yes.
looked over it,
Yes.
but were they under the understanding that it was gonna be retroactive and going back? So basically, do they understand that you're basing it off, they might have approved the actual matrix and the form and the process, but did they understand that, okay, we haven't given it to them, we're gonna give them the bonus based on previous performance that they were unaware of, that they were gonna be based off, evaluated?
This evaluation period started in January of 2025. So.
Right.
Councilwoman Orange.
So you are going back to January. So I can't remember what I did yesterday. I don't know how they-
Right.
How they did it in January. But that being said, I'm not trying to say nothing, but violence in the workplace, set these managers up. for people to come at them in a different light.
Correct.
It ain't gonna be easy, because me and you been friends, and all of a sudden I got a two, and I only got $500, and this one over here, I know haven't been doing the work, and you gave him the thing, it's just ain't good. Like I said, you should have done all of this first. Give these folks this bonus, what they've been used to, but the mayor been giving it to them for the last 10 years. Give them that bonus. Start off, have this terrific thing you're gonna have with the manager. Explain to them how to, because some of them may not even know how to do an evaluation. Just because they're a manager don't make them equipped to do an evaluation. And it's just wrong. All this is set up wrong. I make a motion to table this until.
One second, Councilwoman
Second.
Orange, I did want to comment and question first, I'll take that in a second. So this is a couple things for you to take back, because I understand this is day-to-day operations, so obviously we're the ones who should not be letting you know how to do this, but at the same time, we're gonna have the next council meeting full of individuals asking why we approved this money, and the fact that the matrix is done and why didn't you know ahead of time, and the legal issue is gonna come, now here we go, now we're gonna sue each other, because one person says this and one person says that. When this came to be, one of the things that I stated to, administration was, do you have an evaluation tool? So for instance, to eliminate that's my friend, that's not my friend, you get it, that person gets it. You have a tool that's gonna be able to, one, I as an employee can evaluate myself. My supervisor can evaluate myself, and someone who's lateral to me can also evaluate me. So that's 3 people. So then you'll come with a general number to tell me where I'm at. So then now it's not the bias of the individual who's above me, it's multiple people making this item. So, I did bring that up to see if possibly it can happen. The other thing is, if we're gonna base it on, did you clock in on Kronos or not? If you catch a train multiple times, guess what? You're gonna get wrote up. That's so they're not important, but if someone ends up fighting, they might not get the same as the Kronos, because that supervisor might be thinking, oh, Kronos is more important than, the fighting. So those are all things that should be, evaluated differently. Again, if you have multiple people doing the evaluation, that might be the case. Now, I understand bonuses are not something that you have to give. It's a generous thing to do for the community, and I understand that. But at the same time, I could dangle this beautiful thing that's here in front of me, but you have to do it right when you get it to someone. So I do ask that, I know there's a motion on the floor to table, this item. One more thing before it. You asked for 1.2 million? 5 million. So we don't even know the full amount. So, and I want to make sure that if it's not the full 5 million, that for the second bonus, are you taking it from that 5 million that's left over? So your total bonus ends up being 4 million. There's $1 million that's left over. I don't want it to go to attorneys or anyone else. I wanted to make sure to go to the bonus for the next go around, because then you're gonna have to come and ask for 4 million or 3 million rather than, because there's $1 million left over. So I want to make sure of that.
It will go back into the general fund. Any remaining. If there's any, yeah. anything on the-
So then that means there's other funds that could be used for something else. So I think what should have happened was evaluation first, come tell us how much money it actually is gonna be, and then from there. And it should have never been, we're waiting to see if the council is gonna approve the money. It should have been email letting them know first this is gonna happen, and then we're gonna tell you, council, this is how much we need. But again, day-to-day operations, that's not us, but we just don't want to hear it. Council,
Yeah, because now it looks like we the bad guys.
Yep.
We don't want to give them
Yep.
the bonus, when it all stems from the administration, not from.
so there's a motion on the floor to table.
Second.
So the motion on the floor to table from Councilwoman Orange and the second from Councilmember Rowe. Any questions? Councilmember Garcia.
Yes, I agree with everything that was said, one volunteer and good one to talk to Maryland.
Not a problem.
I have a question before we vote.
Only I can take you with.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Oh, no.
Can we amend it so that this evaluation, we amend it, when we bring it up later, that the evaluation take place in the new year and give just everybody their bonus? Can we amend that?
Yeah, but I would recommend you working with the executive on that. I just, from a perspective as an attorney, I mean, I'm not a wage law attorney, but I know enough about it for it to be dangerous. And my concern is retroactive metrics for a bonus would give me some freaking concern. So I would be talking to the executive about that and just making sure that we're all on the same page. But that, to me, to avoid the confusion, does make sense. If you want to start implementing metrics-based bonuses, then you wouldn't do it retroactively. You would do it with advance notice of the period that you're using the metrics in. So that's just my concern. I mean, obviously, that's an easy amendment, but we should try to be on the same page with the executive and the department heads on that issue. Otherwise, you're just gonna cause friction. We're gonna cause friction between us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, attorney, my concern is that the narrative is gonna switch and sit, and it's gonna be the council decided to not approve this, so now no one's gonna get a bonus. So, and there's no way to bring this back up after a discussion.
If you want to, what's before the council right now is just a basic ordinance to approve the money to be spent on wages, so, or on bonuses. So it doesn't necessarily indicate in there how those bonuses are gonna be spent, so you wouldn't be really amending anything. The only thing that explains how it's gonna be spent is the attachment we received from Joe Allegretti. That's not really a part of what you're hearing. So, that's a tough one. You're gonna put conditions on a request for money, and that's not really what you're.
Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, I think we gotta give the mayor opportunity to hear what we said. Because the thing is, if we change it, he probably, just say he vetoes it. He said, no, I want the valuation done this year. You know? So I said we give him the opportunity and talk to him and then go from there.
Can we have a roll call, please, on the amendment? I'm on the table.
Roll call to table. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Whitfield.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Ratzenberg.
Yes.
Monroe.
Yes.
Hernandez. Warren.
Yes. Are there any resolutions?
We have none.
Old business? Councilman Renfro.
Yes, both businesses in reference to the tax committee had a meeting to discuss the abatement that was issued in agreement on July 12th, 2021. Can we speak for some stuff up and have a little more insight?
Good evening, council. Thank you for inviting me back. It's been a while. You may recall, some of you, there was a big approved in 2021 for 4,400 Homerly. They took a couple of years to get that building started. So last year, I think they had to come back to you and say, hey, can we have a waiver because we didn't file our paperwork on time? We granted that waiver last year. What you have in front of you, which is an annual requirement for compliance. They submit an annual form CF1, and they say, we did what we told you to do, or they don't. And then you ask the president to sign off on their CF1 so that we can send that to the auditor that you're okay, that they did what they said they would do. And they committed at that time 8 new jobs and $19.5 million in construction. And they say they now have 12 new jobs and they invested $20.7 million. So on the surface for what they presented on their CF1, they have met the requirements that they agreed with you in their original abatement ordinance. Our recommendation would be you approve and you have the president sign the CF1.
Yes, and as a committee, as we discussed, that we are in support of the president to sign.
is that the motion form?
I think, should be a
Yeah,
motion.
I think it should be a motion and then you can be signed by president.
Yeah, so I make a motion to approve the tax abatement agreement.
Councilman Ransford makes a motion to approve the tax payment agreement, and this is for the company, the
4,400 Homer League.
4400 Homerly.
Yeah.
And
TGM.
TGM LLC. Just want to make sure the clerk has the document.
I think he does.
Yes, I do, thank you.
And then second motion was
Yes,
Councilman Orange, Councilwoman Orange. Any questions? I'm sorry, 1 second.
I'll say I do when I check.
Councilman Hill, just update you, we have a motion on the floor and properly seconded to approve the abatement recommendation for 4400 Homerly by TGM LLC. We're now at questions. I don't know if you have any questions.
No, thank
Clerk Medina, roll call please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yeah.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
yes,
Hernandez on.
Yes. Any new business?
Yes.
Public expression? Is there any public expression?
I have none.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilman Garcia votes no to adjourn. Councilman Ransford for a second. Roll call please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Ransford,
Yes.
Monroe,
yes.
Hernandez on.
Yes.
Good job, young lady.
Okay.
Yeah, you want this,